Hey guys, today is going to be part 4 of this budget 150 mile an hour RC car project. In the last episode, we took the car down to the 2023 ROSSA event, and unfortunately we didn't have much luck, and the main problem with the running was down to 2 main problems, and in this video we're going to be fixing those, because in the next video with the car we're going to be going for some more runs, not at ROSSA but at a place nearby which should hopefully be suitable for over 120 miles an hour, which will be a good benchmark to see if this car's actually going to be able to do 150 miles an hour. So without further ado, let's begin. So like I said, we've identified 2 main problems which are stopping the car from running properly. The first one being this body shell here. Unfortunately, it's just the wrong shape. So the main problem with it is that we've got an enormous amount of downforce, way too much downforce, caused by this really steep angle here. So the front is just being pressed so far into the ground that it's making the back go light, and then the car spins round. And then also having this massive, really tall, flat side here is kind of just acting as a massive air brake. So when there's a little bit of crosswind, it's going to assist with making the car want to spin round in circles. So unfortunately, this is the wrong shape. So, like I showed you in the previous video, we've got a brand new body here printed. It's almost half the height of the old one. I've rounded off all the edges here, and I've rounded off the front here. And the main advantage with this is that it's got a much shallower angle here, and the downforce is going to be more behind the wheels rather than right on the front of the car. So hopefully this is going to be a much better shape. The other issue that we identified was the front transmission. So this is the shaft here that goes from the diff output and then has a pinion on the end here, which was driven by this pinion here on the motor. So what was happening is that when we applied power to the motor, this whole shaft would flex here, which would pull the 2 pinions apart, so the gears would shred, and then we only had rear wheel drive. The car would only last for about 10 seconds, so we didn't have a chance to do a proper run. So my original thinking was to make a completely new shaft like this out of some 5mm steel rod, but if you have a look here, it's actually quite complex. We've got all these little ridges and holes for pins and circlips to hold it all together, which could be very complex to make. And I've actually had a second thought. Maybe it's not that this is too flexible. Maybe because it's so long, it's causing the whole bulkhead to flex. So I've had another idea. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this little cover off here, and I'm going to be able to show you what I'm thinking. So this is where the shaft sits presently. As you can see, it comes out the bulkhead, the pinion goes on the end here, and then that's been driven by this pinion here. Like I said, it's too long. This is all way too flexible. So we need to use a shorter shaft, but we can't really use one that's too much shorter, because as you can see then, otherwise, this pinion is going to collide with this steering post here. So what if we try remove this steering post here, maybe add a link between here, bridge all these links together, and then we can have the whole steering mechanism done by one steering post here. If that works, we're going to be saving a lot of space at the front here. So what we'll be able to do is move this entire motor mount all the way forward. So we'll be actually able to use the original front diff output shaft that goes in the front here. This is actually for the rear, guys. I had to swap them around so we'd be able to have enough clearance of these steering posts. As you can see here, this is the front one. Here, there's only a tiny bit of shaft that comes out the bulkhead, and the pinion sits on that. There is no flex whatsoever at the back here. This works perfectly. So if we can replicate this at the front, then we'll be golden. So what we need to do is remove this post here, bridge a link here, move the motor mount forwards, use the original front diff output there, and then hopefully it should all be perfect. Let me show you. So these are the 2 links I was planning to kind of fasten together to kind of make one big link. But then I realized having 2 independent links just could be a recipe for disaster. One might move one way and one might move the other way, and then we'll have completely no steering control. So rather conveniently, I've got here a link that comes off a TRX4, which is about the same length as both of them combined together, which is absolutely perfect. I know this kind of seems a bit all over the place and a bit complex to follow, guys, but don't worry. Once it's all together, it'll all make sense. So here we go, guys. Check it out. It all works. Look at this. Absolutely perfect. Just what I wanted. I was a little bit skeptical at the start of whether it would work, but absolutely perfect. It all works just from that one steering post. So now we can get this motor moved all the way up to the front here. Not only that, we've actually eliminated a bit of the independency between the left and the right wheel. Before, you could kind of wobble one of the wheels and the other one would stay still. Now they are rock solid together, so we'll have even more control over the car. So before we move the motor off camera, I'm going to quickly put this link underneath this other link here, because this all has to fit under the kind of this tower to tower brace, and with it at the moment it's not going to fit. So I'll quickly put this one under this one here, and then after that we'll move the motor and also get this new front diff output in. Quick change of plan, guys. I'm actually unable to flip these links round because otherwise this link here will collide with the top of the bulkhead there, that bit there. So no big deal. All I'll do is just get a couple of washers up here to raise that little brace up there. So what we'll do now is get this front diff output put in. So we've got this spare front end here of a Banzai, so we'll be able to get this little outdrive shaft from here. So as you can see, guys, the shaft that we're going to be putting in the car is much shorter than the old one. So here we go, guys. This is how the motor is going to sit. As you can see, right at the front here. Check it out, guys. That is in there absolutely perfectly. It's all meshing nicely. We've got steering. Absolutely perfect, guys. So next, let's get this top deck back on, and then we can have a look at the body shell. So there we go, guys. That is problem number 1 solved. A much better outcome than I first hoped for as well. So next, let's have a look at this body shell. So here we go, guys. That's the body on the car. As you can see, it's a nice snug fit. It fits absolutely perfectly. It looks really sleek. I'm really happy with it. There's no rubbing anywhere, as you can see. So as for actually securing it to the car, we're going to go for the similar strategy that we used with the old body. I'll put a little hole at the front here for a front body mount. And then at the back here, I'll be able to try and make a little strap system. So here's a little body post here that I've cut down. So that's the front done, and then for the back, I'm basically just going to copy what I did here on the old body. So there we go, guys. That's the body on the car. That's problem 2 of 2 solved. And guys, this body is absolutely perfect. It's lovely and secure here, and it is just about big enough to fit on the car. As you can see from the rear shock towers, there is barely any clearance. This is exactly how I wanted it to fit. So there we go, guys. That is part 4 of the build officially complete. We've completely transformed the car now. We've got a much better body on there, and we've fixed the front transmission. So in the next video, guys, part 5, we're going to be running this thing again, and hopefully we should see maybe some 3-figure speed. So if you want to watch that, make sure that you're subscribed and that you press the notification bell. But for now, that's all for this video. I really do hope you did enjoy it. Make sure if you did that you leave a like and subscribe. If you haven't already subscribed, make sure to do that, and make sure to press that notification bell so you don't miss any other cool action. So that's it from me. I hope you have a brilliant day all weekend, and hope to see you next time in the next video. Bye.